So today we're talking about moving the work that we did on the last episode using Google Bard to identify cash out refinance lead opportunities. And we're going to move all of that work over to ChatGPT to create the content strategy to actually capture those leads or to create the content that's going to attract those cash out refinances and give us an opportunity to maybe put some refinances and some quick wins in our pipeline. Now, if you haven't watched the first part of this, it was demographic and geographic targeting using Google Bard, and that's Google's AI platform. And that was the episode just before this one. So wherever you're watching or listening to this, that will give you a little bit more background. If you didn't watch it, we'll go over that real quickly. So the reason we're doing this is, listen, a lot of you had said, hey, I want to do content marketing. I want to generate my own organic leads. And you have to do that. The way you do that is through creating content and putting content out there. Every time you create a video or you write an article or you create a piece of content, you're cloning yourself. And the goal here is to create an army of clones of you referring business back to you. And so that's a little bit of what we're trying to do here. But a lot of times you just don't have time, right? So I don't have time to do that. I'm busy. Guess what? This market, deals are a little bit slow right now, and there's nothing we can do about it. We can't control rates. We can't control inflation. We can't control the market. All we can do is control how we behave in this market and what we choose to focus on. This particular strategy is a really good strategy to hopefully put a few loans in your pipeline for cash out refinances. In the last episode, we used Google Bard to identify what states carried the highest amount of credit card debt. And then we even narrowed that down to which counties carry the highest amount of credit card debt right now in 2023. And then we took a step further and we figured out what the percentage of home ownership was in those states and those counties, mostly, and then what the buyer demographics or the homeowner demographics were, what the age range, what their average income was. So we really narrowed down who our audience is and how to target them. This episode, we're going to talk about what kind of content to put in front of them in order to drive those opportunities back to you. Now, that was what we did on the most recent episode prior to this one. Is we used Google Bard to find published data, to find reports out there to identify geographic targeting of homeowners that carried a high amount of consumer debt. Today, we are going to use ChatGPT to create targeted content and ad campaigns to drive campaigns to our content that identifies the pain points that they're experiencing and offers up solutions to those pain points that they have, and all with the purpose of generating cash out refinance conversations. Whether there's an actual opportunity there or not, that's not for us to determine. Our goal is to have conversations with people that are looking for solutions. And the solution that we want them to look for is, how do I get some financial relief? How do I create a little breathing room in a tight financial situation? And that's what happens when credit card debt goes up and costs go up with inflation and families just start to get squeezed. So let me make this a little bit bigger so you can somewhat read it. So this was the setup prompt that I showed you on the last slide of the previous presentation as a teaser. And so there are a couple of things that I want to talk about for this particular episode of my podcast. A lot of times I go in and I'm doing some work on the backgrounds. I am not delivering fish to your front door with these podcasts. I'm trying to teach you how to fish. I'm trying to get you familiar with these platforms, these AI platforms. I'm giving you my prompts. I'm walking you through the logic of how I'm communicating with the AI platforms in order to produce the results that I desire. You don't always get to see every single step that I took, but in this particular episode, some interesting things happened that it produced results which were accurate for what I asked it to do, but I didn't really like the results. So I'm going to show you how to challenge the AI a little bit and how to identify opportunities to improve on what you're doing. I've said this a million times, but if this is the first episode that you're watching, AI will not do the work for you. You're doing most of the heavy lifting by figuring out how to ask it to produce the results that you're looking for. And the better you are at the better you are at asking it to do what you want it to do, the better results you're going to get. So while I felt like I was doing the right thing, I got results that I wasn't super happy with. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how the sausage is made a little bit on this episode. So not only I'm giving you a really good strategy, and I'm going to give you some actionable steps for creating content and for creating this hub and spoke strategy for generating cash out refinance. But we're also going to learn a lot about how we can interact with ChatGPT in order for it to get the results that we're looking for. If you've seen my other episodes, I like to do a setup prompt. So the setup prompt, and I did actually do a little bit of, I did another prompt before this that I didn't share. I probably could have, but I didn't want this episode to be longer than it's already going to be. So what I did is I asked ChatGPT, tell me what the main pain points are for homeowners between the age of 51 and 56, because that was the age demographic that we were given from Google Bard for homeowners that lived in counties that carried higher than national average credit card debt. So it said that it identified the areas. It said the age range was between 51 and 56, and their average income was between like 108 and $115,000. So I used some of that information to figure out what the pain points are for homeowners in that age range that have these characteristics. So that's what you're seeing here as I'm setting it up. So this particular one, I'm just focusing on New Jersey for no reason other than that's where we settled on the last episode. I'm a loan officer in New Jersey. I'd like your help to identify the pain points and creating marketing copy to address these pain points. The home buyer demographic I am targeting includes an age range of 51 to 56 years old, and they live in counties that carry high credit card balances that exceed the national average. And again, we got all this information from the last episode. These homeowners may also have older children entering or exiting college, and may also be empty nesters with adult children moving out. Do not create content yet. Let me know that you understand and you're ready for the next prompt. So this is what I call a setup prompt, where I'm basically just positioning myself or I'm positioning ChatGPT, and I'm saying, listen, these are the parameters that I want you to operate from. These are the basic guidelines or the guardrails that I want you to follow. The important part about this prompt is do not create content yet. Let me know you understand and you're ready for the next prompt. So it comes back and it says that it understands. I understand the brief. You're a loan officer in New Jersey targeting homeowners between the ages of 51 and 56 living in counties with higher than average credit card debt. This demographic likely has children entering or exiting college and may also be dealing with becoming empty nesters as their adult children move out. You're seeking identification of pain points and crafting of marketing copy to address these pain points. I am ready for the next prompt. If you've watched more than one episode and you've seen me go through this process, this is the reason why I ask it if it understands is because I'm checking to see if I'm asking it the right prompt, if I'm wording my prompt properly. So I'm asking it, read me back what I just told you I want you to do. And if it sounds like it's in the ballpark of what I asked it to do, then my setup prompt is probably okay. Now, this one came back with a couple of details that I ended up not liking in the final product. We're going to show you what that looks like and what we did to resolve that. So I'm ready for the next prompt. So I want to When we do a hub and spoke strategy, when we do content marketing, we typically want a primary article. We want a landing point where we send everybody. Now, this isn't, listen, you could run ads to a squeeze page and have them fill out a form, but there's no trust there. What we're doing is we're creating content that can be indexed and SEO optimized, that can be found in Google searches. So that's Google is the number one search engine in the world still. YouTube is the number two search engine in the world if you're 35 years or younger. And so that's why we're doing this, is when we create this content, because if you create content, put it on social, it lives on an island, and it's only going to be seen if somebody happens to be there at the right place at the right time. Nobody's searching for answers on social. So we're creating articles. Ideally, this sits on your own website where you control the calls to action. You control what information is in the sidebars, how they can navigate, and how they can learn more about you. If you're posting this content only on social, they hire neurologists and psychological or psychology professors to purposely create the algorithm to cause distractions, to cause the user to rabbit hole down in different areas of the platform so that they spend more time on the platform so they can show them more ads. We're trying to avoid that. Even though I think it's really important that you post on social, that's not where we want our content to live, because when you put it on social, it has a very short shelf life. When we write blog posts and articles that are on our website, that stays forever. And that's going to get indexed, and that's going to get organic traffic. They're going to read our content. They're going to see our website. They're going to trust us. They're going to know us before they even reach out to us. So here's my article prompt. Sorry for the speech, but this is important stuff. If you're watching these videos, you're interested in being a content creator and generating your own organic leads so that you're not dependent on anybody else for your business. And it's a little bit of a long game. It takes some time to get good at it. It takes some time to build up enough content so that you're starting to create organic leads. And that's why this time in the market is the absolute perfect time to go double down on this strategy and really invest heavily on creating this content. So let's write the article. Thank you. I'm always polite because you never know if AI is going to take over the world. I want to be on the list of the people that were polite to the AI. I don't want to be punished when ChatGPT takes over the planet. I want you to write me a 700-word article addressing the homeowner's pain points. Some of the potential solutions for these pain points are, so some of the solutions for these high debt homeowners include debt consolidation, refinance, because that's the whole point of what we're trying to do here. Is we're trying to get people to think, maybe I need to have a conversation with this person because I have high credit card debt. Some of the potential solutions for these high debt homeowners include debt consolidation, refinance to reduce the total interest paid on debt, downsizing after adult children leave, saving for retirement, paying off high interest student loan debt, avoiding emergencies with home repairs and maintenance. Because if they're in their 50s and they've lived in their home for a while, there could be some deferred maintenance and surprises there, and potentially converting part of the home into income producing living spaces and accessory dwelling units, ADUs. So please output in H2 and H3 headlines and bullet points to improve readability for online readers of the article, optimized for both SEO and readability. The tone is hopeful, temperature is 0.8, right at a 9th grade reading level. So some of the things that I'm putting in here. So these pain points I actually got out of ChatGPT. I mentioned this earlier. I put into ChatGPT, what pain points do homeowners in this age range, in this demographic, what pain points do they have? And it basically said their student loan debt because their kids are exiting college. There could be deferred maintenance on their house. They've probably been homeowners for a few years, and there could be more surprises as the home gets older. And it's, in terms of the debt consolidation, those are the conversations we have with borrowers all the time. They don't want to, especially right now, they might have a low interest rate on their mortgage, but they're carrying tens of thousands of dollars of debt that are in like 20% interest rate, 25% interest rate on high interest credit card debt. And we're showing them how consolidating that debt into a lower interest rate and then amortizing it out over time is going to give them some breathing room when it comes to their month to month expenses. Because in difficult economies and when you're in a financial crunch, it's the month to month cash flow that's really the pain point for people. So what we're trying to do in this article is we're trying to show them how to give them some breathing room on their free up their month to month expenses so that they can reduce stress that way, avoid surprises with deferred maintenance, and potentially create new revenue sources because their kids are moving out of their house, and potentially they could rent out some of the areas of their house, convert those into ADUs. The tone, I want it to be hopeful, right? We don't want these people to feel bad about the financial situation that they're in. Temperature, I've talked about this a lot. So temperature is a parameter for AI natural language models that tells it how much creative license it can take in producing the output. So it's going to be a little bit more creative with its wording, the words that it uses, and it's going to be it's just going to take some liberties, some creative liberties with the way that it writes. And that scales between 0 and 1. 0.8, I'm asking it to be creative, and then I want to output it a ninth grade reading level. So it gives me a result and it writes the article, and I'm not super excited about it. It's kind of meh. I don't really like the title right out of the gate: Unlocking Financial Freedom, Effective Strategies for High Debt Homeowners. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like the way that it's phrased. It's not the way that I would talk about addressing these pain points for consumers. So let's take a look at this, because this is the lesson that I wanted to show you with what if you don't like the first result that it punches out. This is something I also didn't like: understanding the challenges. Again, that feels dry. It doesn't feel like it's connecting. Homeownership is a cherished part of the American dream, but for many in the 51 to 56 age bracket living in New Jersey, it's a dream intertwined with a hefty debt burden. Yeah, I'm not super impressed with that. First of all, I don't want to narrow it down and say 51 to 56 years old. First of all, when we're running Facebook ads, which is still the cheapest and the most effective way to reach the broadest audience, but you've really got to be good with your content. And that's what we're trying to create, is we're trying to create targeted content that addresses the pain points of this demographic, because you can't actually target these people in Facebook. Under the housing special ads category in Facebook, we can identify a geographic area, like an area where they live, a radius from an address or a county or a city or a state. But what we can't do is we can't identify whether they're homeowners or not, and we can't set the age range. We can't tell them what age range, and we can't determine sex. So our content has to speak to that demographic, but we can't actually target that demographic. And then we have to just trust Facebook's algorithm, which is really good. It will put it in front of the people that have these pain points. And as they start to click on it, it'll optimize their algorithm to show it to this specific demographic. So there's already 2 strikes, and I'm on the second sentence, right? Don't like the title, don't like the first sentence. Let's see what else it gave us. Navigating high debt, a comprehensive approach. Again, that feels a little clinical to me. I don't really like it. Homeowners contending with high debt can take several proactive steps. And it says, now it's not horrible. It is getting the pain points. So there's debt consolidation, refinance. But that's a little funny that it says the benefits. So the benefit of a debt consolidation refinance, I don't know if benefit feels like the right word for what I'm trying to relay here. Downsizing opportunities, right? So this is addressing the empty nester situation. It's talking about saving for retirement because that age range, they're really looking at saving for retirement. And quite frankly, that's one of the reasons why you want to free up month to month cash flow. So instead of making payments on that high interest credit card debt, you free up $1,000, few $100s or $1,000 a month, and that can be diverted towards their retirement plan because they're going to be retiring in 10 to 15 years. So if they're not where they want to be now in their retirement plan, that's a really important part of this cash out and this debt consolidation conversation. Tackling high interest student loan debt. Again, I'm not super happy with the wording on this. It's addressing preserving equity, home maintenance and repair funds, which is avoiding deferred maintenance so that you don't have surprises and you're not spending more money because you let it go too far. Income producing living spaces, that's not horrible. It's addressing what we're asking, and then it's telling us to create a plan and take action. And I do like this, paving your path to financial freedom. Man, again, that's just not the way I would say it. We're not the what I'm trying to relay here with this article is I'm not trying to pave your path to financial freedom. We're trying to relieve pain points. And another thing that it's telling us here is it's giving us the benefits of this home maintenance, and then it's telling us the benefits of a well financed opportunity here. I'm not sure if these are benefits. I'm not sure if we're trying to sell benefits to people. That's not exactly the way I wanted to approach it. So I wanted to try again. Now, there's a couple of ways that you can try again. If you don't like the results that it produces, there's a couple of ways that you can ask it to do it again. First of all, on the bottom of the response, it's going to say regenerate response. You can click that button and it's going to regenerate the response using the exact same parameters that you gave it the first time. But it's going to store all of your versions. So you can go back and you can check the different versions. And I've said this a bunch and I'll say it again. This is never going to give you this is never going to be copy and paste accurate. It's going to give you 95 to 97% of the right language. And then you're going to have to go in there and you're going to massage it. But that's not a massage. That's going to take a lot of work to make that thing sound like I want it to sound. So I'm going to ask it to do a couple things differently. First of all, I didn't like the fact that it said homeowners between the age of 51 and 56. So I want to pull that out. So I said, I don't like this version. You always want to treat ChatGPT like it's a person. If it gives you a response that you don't like, say, I don't like that response. I don't like the way you said this. I don't like the way you phrased that. I want you to phrase it this way. And that's a little bit of what I'm doing here. So I don't like this version. Can you try again? Do not mention the age demographic. Approach the subject as though they know what their pain points are and offer solutions to those pain points, because that's the approach that I want to take with this article. So you always want to compare your versions because, again, what I find most of the time is I'll use bits and pieces from different versions because I like the way it words one thing, but I don't like the way that it words something else. So it gave us a new title here, Strategies for Alleviating High Debt, Empowering Homeowners Towards Financial Freedom. I actually like that a lot better. It feels a little bit better to me. I like the way that strategies for alleviating high debt, anybody who sees that is going to identify with that. They're going to want to read this article. The financial crossroads, I kind of like the way that it frames that as well. It feels a little bit better to me. Homeownership comes with a set of financial complexities, from juggling higher than average credit card debt to handling the expenses of supporting your children's education. It's a balancing act. While these challenges are substantial, they aren't insurmountable. With the right strategies, you can successfully navigate this financial labyrinth. I like that. That's not bad. It's not bad wording. And then it says tailored solutions for high debt homeowners. I like the way that it says that tailored solutions. They're not benefits. I'm solving their problems. Tailored solutions for high debt homeowners to effectively manage and gradually eliminate high debt. Consider implementing these practical solutions. I like the way this is worded a lot better. Debt consolidation refinance. That's great. That's exactly what I'm offering them. Merge multiple debts into a single loan with potentially lower interest rate. It's about making your debt more manageable and minimizing the total interest you're paying. That's exactly the conversation that we have with folks when we're having debt consolidation conversations. Unless interest rates are lower, and today interest rates aren't lower, so that we're most likely asking them to take a higher interest rate on their mortgage. But where the real value of this comes in, and if you just look at that, a higher interest rate on your mortgage, people are like, no, I don't want to do that. But when you say, hey, you're carrying $40,000 in credit card debt at 25% interest rate, you're making the minimum payments on this. It's going to be 20 years until you pay that thing down. Unless you start making big chunks towards it, you're never going to get ahead. So I like the way that this is phrased. Downsizing to maximize financial responsibility. I like the way that that phrase is, or it's phrasing that. It's taking the same pain points and it's just saying it differently. Revamping your retirement savings. And it's basically talking about fortifying your retirement savings. And that's a conversation. Now, I would add in there that the money that you save from consolidating debt, you can divert that into your retirement accounts, because that's one of the benefits of doing a debt consolidation, is what you do with the money that you saved. $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 a month that you saved by consolidating the credit card debt, eliminating your credit card payments and rolling them into a single loan. Tackling high interest student loans. Student loans may or may not have a higher interest rate than what mortgage rates are now. I've seen credit card or student loan interest rates in the 8-9% range. Again, that's higher than what a mortgage is. And you can't necessarily lower your interest rate on your student loans without refinancing your student loans in the future. But if you roll them into your mortgage, and there's also a lot of programs, like Fannie Mae has programs where you can pay off student loan debt and it's considered a no cash out refinance. So that gives you some little bit of flexibility there. Setting up home maintenance funds, prevent unexpected costly repairs. I like that. And then leveraging your home for additional income, generate rental income by converting unused rooms and building accessory dwelling units. It's about making the most out of your space. So I like this. This is a little bit better. But again, I didn't like the first title at all. The second title was a little bit better. So I'm going to go in there and I'm going to say, hey, can you give me 5 options for catchy SEO optimized titles for this article? Please follow Google's SEO best practices. Temperature is 8, tone hopeful, enthusiastic, and write at a 9th grade reading level. And so it says, absolutely. Here's 5 SEO optimized titles. Revitalize your finances, proven debt reduction strategies for homeowners. Financial freedom awaits. High debt homeowner solutions you need to know. Debt relief made simple. Smart strategies for homeowners. I like these. There's a lot of different options. I'm going to choose probably one of these. That one's pretty cool. From high debt to higher hopes, empowering homeowners towards financial success. And again, what I usually end up doing is I end up taking parts of each one of these, and I like from high debt to high hopes. Like, that's pretty cool. But then I would probably say high debt homeowner solutions you need to know, or smart strategies for homeowners, or debt reduction strategies for homeowners. Probably debt reduction strategies for homeowners. So I would use half of one and half of another to get something that I liked. So I've mentioned hub and spokes a couple of times, and this is a little visual to show you what we're talking about. So once we write this article, that's where we're going to have all of our calls to action. Basically, our call to action is, hey, if this resonates with you at all, it's worth having a conversation. It may or may not make sense to you, but it does make sense to have a conversation with somebody about this. And I'm more than happy to have this conversation and explore any of these options to see if these are going to get you closer to relieving some stress, freeing up some cash flow, saving for retirement, avoiding surprises, earning extra income with your property, right? We've peppered them with with like 4 or 5, I think it was 5 or 6 actually, different opportunities for relieving financial stress. So what a hub and spoke strategy looks like is basically you have your blog or your article, and then we're repurposing and reposting it in all of these social. We're sending out to email to our database. We're posting it to Google My Business. We're creating shorts with TikTok, LinkedIn. We're putting it on LinkedIn. We're putting it in YouTube. We're creating Facebook stories, and we're driving paid traffic. So we're creating ads around our article with a call to action to read my article to get more information. So let's build some traffic spokes for this strategy. So my next prompt is, now can you write me a series of social media posts, each one for each H2 and H3 in this article? So basically what I'm saying is, take the headlines, take the high level headlines, and write for each one of those. I want you to write me a social media post. The audience is homeowners in Bergen County, New Jersey. So I know Bergen County carries the highest amount of credit card debt based on the geographic and demographic research that we did using Google Bard. This is part of this strategy, is creating messaging that we can target the audience to such an extent that we're spending less money because we're only targeting where we know our demographic exists. And by addressing folks in that particular county, you're going to see some of the wording on the ads only showing it to them. We can expect higher conversion rates, higher click rates, and higher conversion rates, because anybody that clicks on it is going to identify with high debt, high stress, needing to save for retirement, wanting an emergency fund, having to pay off credit card debt, and they live in Bergen County, New Jersey. So by saying these things and using these keywords, it's going to help with our conversion, which is going to lower our ad costs because we have a more highly targeted audience. Acknowledge that the market is tough right now, but sometimes waiting isn't an option. The call to action is to read my full article. Write at a 9th grade reading level. Please include emojis. The tone is hopeful. The temperature is 7. So I'm going to tone down the creativity just a little bit. And here's some examples of what it gave us. The financial crossroads. Facing financial challenges in our tough market. You're not alone, Bergen County. It sounds a little bit like Ron Burgundy there, doesn't it? You're not alone. You're not alone, Bergen County. There are effective strategies waiting for you. Read our latest article to find out more. Hashtag debt-free dreams, Bergen County homeowners, right? Not horrible. Debt consolidation refinance. Simplify your finances with debt consolidation refinance. Combine your debts, lower your interest, and reclaim your peace of mind. Find out more in our article. Downsizing to maximize financial flexibility was the headline, or was the H3, the headline from the article that we're addressing. Too much space now that the kids have flown the nest? Consider downsizing. Similar can be better, or smaller can be better, freeing up equity and reducing mortgage stress. Dive into our article for more details. Downsize upside and Bergen County hashtags. I like this. Again, these aren't going to be perfect, but there's enough there. There's enough meat on that bone that we've got a full meal. We can throw some sides on that thing. We can tune it up a little bit. We can experiment with some different things. And these are pretty good ads. Retirement savings. Let's boost those retirement savings, Bergen County. With the kids on their own, now's the perfect time. Learn how in our latest article. We're driving them back to our hub, right? To our article, tackling high student interest loan debt, setting up maintenance funds, leveraging your home for additional income. Your home can also be your income source. Rent out unused rooms or build an ADU. Our latest article shares the details. So income boost and homeowner tips are our hashtags. I like that. And then the last one, it used the H2 for our close, your journey towards financial freedom. Set off on your journey to financial freedom today with the right plan. I'm not sure that I completely like that one. So what I want to do is now I want to create a video script. So I have the article, I have some video, I have some ads that I'm going to run on Facebook. So I'm going to do targeted marketing only in Bergen County. And because we have all of the keywords there and the right targeting, that should be a low cost campaign. But now I want to create some videos so that I can put it on YouTube, because that's the second largest search engine on the planet, in the United States at least, and maybe the world. And then I want to take that long form video and I want to create some short form videos. We're not going to do all of that in this thing. We're almost done here, but I want to at least create this long form video script. So can you write a 3-minute video script for the first 7 points of these posts, or for the first 7 of these posts? So it gave me 8 social media posts. I only wanted to use the first 7. I only liked the first 7, so I just want to touch on those. Please include video best practices to capture and keep the viewer's attention. Include a title, a hook, and a call to action to check out the article for more liberating ideas and information. And then it gave me the response. Now, this is a really cool feature. This is a brand new feature on ChatGPT. I don't know if it's available on the free version because I use ChatGPT Plus, which is ChatGPT 4. So I'm actually going to put the link to my entire chat thread in the description below, or in the body if I'm posting this on social. I'm going to put the link in there. You can click on that link and you can see it'll open it up in ChatGPT. You can see my entire prompt thread. You can see all my versions, and you can actually even build off of it. You can open it up and start building your own content off of my existing thread. So that's going to be really cool. You're going to have access to all of the work that I did on this, and you can go in there and experiment with it on your own. So I hope this was helpful. I covered a lot more kind of AI theory than I did strategy, but I hope you were able to understand how powerful these platforms are and how powerful this hub and spoke strategy is. If you can wrap your head around this and take the time that you have right now when business is slow and start doing this. Listen, you're not going to be great when you start, but you've got to power through the suck. You're going to suck. Deal with it. Keep doing it, keep practicing, and you're going to get through it. Trust me, by the time anybody sees your content, you're going to be good at it. Nobody's going to see the first ones that are crummy. They're not going to see those. They're not going to get a lot of traffic because you're just stepping onto the stage. So by the time they see you, you're going to be practiced, you're going to be smooth, and you're going to create a consistent flow of inbound, high trust, high intent traffic. So I hope that was helpful. Thanks for sticking with me on this one. I would love to hear feedback if you're using these strategies and they're working for you. And if you want any help creating these strategies, feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to have a conversation about this. As you can tell, I geek out on this stuff and I'm into it. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.